How to get the most money for your car when you put it up for sale, Personal Finance 2022. Today we are going to talk about 5 things that you should do when selling your car. The first thing you need to know that people prefer gleaming goods. If you're missing a hubcap, go to an AutoZone and grab a set of 4 gleaming hubcaps for around $30 to $40. When the automobile appears better with all the gleaming hubcaps, you'll get more than your money back. Then check under the hood. You have an unclean, greasy engine that will make people think it wasn't properly maintained. The next step is to determine how far you can go in repairing your car before selling it. For example, to fix this dent on the bumper where the plastic is ripped off, most body shops these days will charge $400 to $500 to either fix it, paint it, or replace it and paint it. In that case, you must determine how much your car is truly worth. If it's a late model car, it's probably worth fixing because you'll get a lot more money for it. If you get a car and the paint is all faded and it looks like garbage, you might think you'll go to one of it won't be perfect, but it will make the car appear so much better that you'll be able to sell it for much more than $200 to $300 extra. The next thing to check before selling your car is that it's full of oil and that it's clean. There will be a limitation of purchasers for such vehicles. So, even if you've been terrible and haven't changed your oil in a while, change it before you sell it. That way, it'll be full, clean, and you'll have a higher probability of gaining more money. The next step is to inspect the tires. These are good tires with plenty of wear and a good appearance. You can just ignore them. If you have a bunch of bald tires, or if your tires are old and cracked, you can consider buying the cheapest tires you can find that will at least look good. And if you have a tiny problem with your front end or something, new tires that are correctly balanced will not wobble or shimmy, making the car simpler to sell. And don't forget about all the rubber trim, which is old faded trim. All American Armor silicone-based cleaner and conditioner works best on trim. Silicone cleans, protects, and shines it up nicely. Don't forget about the interior. If someone is driving the automobile, they will be sitting in it, and that is the portion they want to see clean and attractive. When it comes to selling your car, the last thing you want is major technical concerns. You don't put a new engine in a car that's starting to fail and then sell it because, in most situations, you'll never get that much money back. Of course, if your brakes are grinding, replace the brake pads so they don't grind anymore. Brake pads can be found for $19 at certain locations. That kind of thing needs to be addressed. However, if your transmission is starting to slip and other issues, you should not get it rebuilt before selling the automobile because you will never recoup your investment. You should try to sell your car yourself if you want to obtain the maximum money for it. However, if you don't want to deal with the general public when selling your automobile, you may find a decent consignment seller. There are people out there who will accept your car on consignment for a percentage of the price and try to sell it for you. Because if you have a car that people really want, these guys know which automobiles are the most popular, the most money they can make, and they'll attempt to sell it for as much as they can because they receive a portion of the sale price. Above all, if you're selling your automobile, don't trade it in. When you do, you'll get almost nothing for it. Instead, try to sell it yourself or through a consignment dealer.